Hello everyone. Welcome to another night here at the Fireside Tales. You know, they say that life is a lot like a game of chess, with there being some master player who moves the chess pieces about, and there's a logical order to everything, and there's a mathematical sense to it all. But you know, it wasn't always like this. There was a time in our universe's history where it could have gone either way, where things could have been completely logical, or everything could have been nonsense. Hello, everyone. This is the second part of the Legends of the Fireside Tales. And tonight, instead of telling the story of how the organization of the Fireside Tales started, we will be telling the story of how our universe began, billions of years ago. It's a story that is very debatable, and one I can't promise you is the truth, but is a story nonetheless that you should hear, and a very important part of the Fireside Tales. Well, of course, it all began with darkness. And then a gentle lullaby could be heard. It reverberated throughout the whole universe. And all around there came color and light, and a whole world took form. A world of animals and a world of people. And from the fabrics of reality, there was given birth 3 children. The first was the man in black. Now, the man in black was a being that made complete and utter sense, and everything that surrounded him followed its own distinct rules known as the laws of physics, rules like those created by Newton and Einstein, mathematical formulas. And then the second man was the man in gray. He was a being that made absolutely no sense at all, and everything that came in his contact just fell apart. And then there was a third man that was born. This man was named the man in white, and he dealt entirely with perception, and the idea that it is the human's mind, or a being's mind, that is the actual creator of reality. Now, the first 2 brothers were not very good friends with each other. They were always fighting and bickering. The man in black were constantly trying to kill each other. You see, both of them wanted to be the great truth, the real reality, what actually was. The man in white was not a murderer. He never killed anyone, and he loved all. In fact, there's a little story I remember, told to me by the Fireside Tales, of one time that the man in black, the man in white, and the man in gray were in the garden, and they found a little bird with its wings broke, and they knew that if the bird laid out there for too long, it would be eaten by a fox or by a wolf or something. And the man in black said, "Well, I cannot help it. It just will have to die. It is simply nature's way." And the man in gray said, "Well, I could help it if I wanted to. I don't have to make any sense at all. But you know, I'm not feeling like it right now, and I would prefer for things to just go ahead and make sense." But the man in white, he kneeled down to the little bird. He held it up, and he whispered something in its ear. And then it flew away, up into the starry night sky. And the man in black and the man in gray looked at each other, and they looked at the man in white. And the man in white explained, "Be careful, next time you try to kill anyone, or watch anything die. For one creature's death may indeed be the very end of both of you." And the man in black said, "Oh, no, that is complete nonsense. It makes no sense at all." And the man in gray said, "Yes, it doesn't really make any sense. But I wouldn't want it to be true anyways. It would mean that I wasn't real." But anyway, in the ways, man in white walked away saying, "Do not underestimate the power of one life." Anyways, that is really the story of these 3 men. They live in the cosmos, and nobody knows for sure who the actual truth is, whether it's the man in black, the man in white, or the man in gray. And there's compelling cases for all 3 of them. I suppose I'll leave it up to you to decide who is the truth. But we here in the Fireside Tales have begun to learn that it's no easy matter to understand. Even with a world of dragons and fairies, it can still be very difficult to understand whether they are not simply illusions of the mind or actual realities. And what is truth or fiction may be just a matter of opinion. And I want to make another statement, too. Who do you all think is my favorite man? Which of the men in tuxedos do you think I like the most? Well, I'll leave that up to you to decide. But what does it matter? I am, after all, only one man. As always, sweet dreams and good night.